I think I'm awake. I'm not entirely sure. So let's do this. All right. I say let's do this, and then I don't know what I'm doing, right? We're doing a new design for living. We're starting a new chapter today. We're starting chapter 18, which is mental growth. But let's do the housekeeping first. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. Constant contact, email, info@creativelife.org. That'll get you one email a week, tells you what's going on for the week and the month. The hot links are hot. And click here now means it. And it is a blind CC. Nobody's going to see your email from us. Okay. Then I mentioned the social medias merely from the standpoint of we don't monetize them. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. We ask you to like, subscribe, follow, based on which platform you're on, and then engage with the individual post by reacting, commenting, and sharing. It bumps us in the algorithms. More people see our stuff. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark, and I am the running Rev Riot across all the social medias that I am on. Okay. So a new design for living is the process of science of mind. This is one of the last books that Ernest himself worked on. And I'm serious. It is the process of science of mind. Jesse's leaned into talking about the process. When you treat for something, when you pray for something, the universe or spirit doesn't just hand it to you. It hands you a process to get there. That's what this is. This is also kind of where I'm... Now, I've never believed that science of mind was a religion because we don't teach you what to believe. We teach you how and why it's important. Okay? And that's what this is. This is talking about the how and why it's important. Okay? How to do this. Science of mind is really a philosophy. It's more of a philosophy instead of, it's a way of life, right? Okay. All right. So, as I said, we are starting a new chapter today. We are on chapter 18. And chapter 18 is mental growth. And the introduction is surprisingly long. But he always starts with a quote. So we're going to have a quote from Edmund W. Sinnott. Unless we now can clear away the venerable rubbish of the past and the bigotries of the present that so confuse our thinking, and discover a common foundation of enlightened belief and faith on which all people can build their own philosophies, we are not worthy of the age in which we live. Ouch. I don't disagree with him. Okay. Max Planck, the famed physicist and Nobel Prize winner, and I've actually heard of him, but I really enjoy physics, so of course I've heard of him, said that science and religion have a common goal, on to God. We might add that philosophy should be included. There should always be a seeking out, a continuing endeavor on the part of the individual to discover the meaning of life and experience. A continuing endeavor on the part of each individual to discover the meaning of life and experience it in every aspect of living. Okay? Of these three approaches to what we have called ultimate reality, probably the most familiar is that of religion. So science, religion, and philosophy. Okay, that's the three approaches that he's talking about, which has been defined as a person's belief in God or gods. And since there are such varied interpretations of the basic religious concept, which fundamentally may be quite similar, naturally there is and always has been a great variance between professed religious beliefs. Arnold Toynbee, that's Toynbee, in case you want to look him up, famed historian philosopher, is a critical analyst of the world's 7 great living religions, has discerned that if they were shorn of the adornments with which they have cloned themselves during the centuries, there are certain fundamentals common to them all. Okay? It's really noisy in my neighborhood. Everybody's out doing lawn work after a week of rain. Okay. He feels that these basic truths will far outlive any dogmatic consideration of them. Outstanding is the fact that the 7 great religions of the world recognize a spiritual presence in the universe, something something that is greater than humanity, which is spiritual reality, absolute reality, and that it is good. Okay? These religions also recognize that there is a need within humanity to become aware of this reality, to be in touch with it and in harmony with it. It is only in this way that humanity can feel at home in the world in which they find themselves. Okay? All right. So, a need to become aware of this reality. 6 of the religions hold that spiritual reality also has a very personal aspect. Personal in the sense that a human self is personal, and that in this manifestation of it, human beings have encounters with it. There is also the fact that these great religions recognize that this spiritual reality has an impersonal aspect, which we have designated law. Okay. Religion, for us, should include whatever revelation is valid and whatever the deep spiritual experience of the ages has taught us. As for philosophy, it may be considered to be anyone's opinion about anything. Okay, that's really interesting. I'm not her. Okay. This is why philosophers have the privilege to disagree with each other. Philosophy, then, unlike science, may or may not be based on verifiable principles. It may or may not be true. It is but an individual's effort by what they term the logic of their thought to explain the nature of things as they are. If you haven't noticed, frequently I do say, well, it's just my opinion, because I believe science of mind is a philosophy. On the other hand, science deals with laws or principles, with the way they work and how to use them. Therefore, science is a very impersonal study. It claims no special dispensations of providence and no divine revelations of truth other than the revelation of laws. Okay. It is from the combination of these 3 fields that we gather such knowledge as we have. In our approach to a science of mind, to the creative use of our thought and prayer, we have sought to combine these 3 methods of thinking. As a result, we have discovered that we have 2 basic principles. Okay. A divine presence, which is God, the living spirit, mind, intelligence, and universal law. Action and reaction, upon which rests the dependability of all scientific investigation. We should expect, then, to find that even what has developed into our own philosophy, the need of combining our deep intuitive feelings with our knowledge of the universal law and order. That was a lot. But basically, he just defined for you what he considers religion, what he considers science, and what he considers philosophy. And I love the fact that he considers philosophy an opinion. A philosophy is a person's attempt to explain why things are the way they are. That's also anthropology, but we won't go there. Yeah. And that is that science of mind does use science, philosophy, and religion. And I say it uses religion because that's Ernest studied he clearly talks about 7 great religions. Ernest read everything he could get his hands on. He read Buddhism, he read Hinduism, he read Christianity, he read Islam, he read all of it. Obviously, he was familiar with Judaism because Christianity came out of, just like Buddhism came out of Hinduism. So, we all have our genesis. And so he's explaining all of this to you to explain to you where he's going. And so he uses the scientific principle, he uses philosophy, and he uses religion because, the genesis of science of mind is Ernest noticed that Jesus had a specific way of praying. Jesus had a scientific way of praying. And he's like, let's teach people this. And here we are, 100 years later. So, all right, I'm going to move on into the process of my day. I look forward to whatever is going on in this chapter, because tomorrow we are going to talk about facts and faith. So, all right, moving on. I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, let's start wrapping this week up day, a you got this day, a take care of yourself day, a take care of business day, a drink plenty of water day, it could be a little warm today, so take your precautions day, a cuddle your fur babies day, a you got this day, a make sure you make time to sit down and rest day, a take your immune supports day, because apparently there's something going around. It could just be allergies, who knows. A day, eat something really good day, just, and a good day. And if that is too much pressure, because occasionally it is, I get it, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You're a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, an absolutely beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. And, as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. So, explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything is possible. All right, beloveds, I'm going to move on into the process of my day. I'm going to remind you, Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9-ish tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.